All right, I'm gonna give this YouTube thing another go. If it doesn't work, there's some sort of conspiracy against me. I've seen a new format on the algorithm. Videos looking like this. Some YouTubers sitting outside talking to the camera. I don't know where we've come, but it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right that we're at this point. We're in 2026, by the way. I don't know if you guys realized, and we're halfway through it. That's a lot to take in. And this is just the first minute of the video. You know, it's a very beautiful day, actually. I don't know why I sound negative. I'm not a negative person or anything. Um, I'm just telling you that shit's getting very serious out here. It's a, it's very deep. If you guys are anything like me, you're in your mid 20s, trying to figure out how to navigate through life. Social media. That's like one huge topic. And that just might be the biggest topic of this video today, actually. But in the past we had to navigate in real life. You had to meet people in person, whether it was for your job interview, for your potential wife, whatever. You had friends in person, not on, you know, CSGO or fucking Xbox or PlayStation chats or whatever. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having online friends, and I know some people meet them in real life sometimes, but it's just kind of a weird thing to try to comprehend. Like, there's almost a detachment of the human element. Meeting people in person, getting to know them, seeing them, looking at them, hearing them clearly, not through a fucking microphone. Fucking chair's like tripping, dude. And, this is why I think a lot of people are getting into like nature nowadays, including myself. It's like coming back to reality almost, because nature is it's your reality. It is reality. It's what humans belong with, and everything else, animals, plants. It sort of almost humbles you, but also mystifies you. You look at the beauty of things. But nature isn't perfect either, It's a good coping mechanism, going on those hikes, going to the park. It's a little bit of a coping mechanism the way it's used. And civilization is really what we actually belong in, realistically speaking. And that's where things become a little complicated. We try to balance out nature with what things should actually be and optimally and efficiently look like, right? That's why we have laws. But it's the civilization sometimes where we're at right now. Excuse me. My brain is like braining, but it's when civilization goes too far, people want to return back to nature. So I'll give you guys an example. And I'm sorry if it comes off like I'm a fucking lecturing hard ass professor. I'm not. I'm just confessing my ideas into the internet. I'm like a smarter version of that one guy, Elisha Long, which isn't good because his whole philosophy is, going the other way, which I respect that. I'm just someone who likes to think. I don't know why. Maybe I'm spiritually an ancient Greek philosopher. Anyway, the example I was about to give was, you know, the rights of the rights that people have with their own bodies, what they are able to do and not, what they are able to do and what they are not able to do. Specifically in the sexual context. So, a lot of people socially agree on monogamy and loyalty. However, these rules and laws are not enforced, which makes you wonder, right? What is it that the legal system wants? But not only that, what do we naturally want? If you ask men, I think a lot of men would just want as many women as they could get, for physical pleasure. Okay, but that's not considered socially acceptable. I'm not going to get into the reasons of why it's not, but, people have their reasons. Most people would just say, oh, there's not enough people that to go around and share, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, most guys would want to have multiple women. Most women would want to have the best option of guy they can find, the top tier. I think people call that hypergamy. It's whatever. I don't really care. But then the legal system, if you live anywhere in the Western world, like I do, it lets you cheat. It gives you the freedom to cheat, to be disloyal. It gives you the freedom to sleep with anyone. If you're an adult, anyone who's an adult, doesn't matter their race, religion, sexuality, or whatever. And now you have to understand, and this is where it gets confusing. Okay, there's socially acceptable norms. There's laws, legal systems, rules, and then there's what you truly believe is morally right, and then nature. And all of these things should be considered. Why? Well, I mean, I think they should be considered because I'm someone who wants to seek the best optimal way of life. And I think the way you do that is by calculating what's best and what's not the best, right? What, like, outweighing your pros and cons, essentially. I would disagree with some of the laws because it doesn't really reflect society now all that too well. Um, if people believe in monogamy, then why not enforce monogamy legally. Okay. And I don't really want to hear the freedom crap, because freedom doesn't exist anywhere. You're not free to do anything or say everything. That's just an illusion. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that. So if you want to create an argument, please do so, but don't use the freedom excuse, because there are no freedoms. I can't say certain things. You can't say certain things. You can't do certain things. And I have to be very careful with the language I use, because I'm on YouTube right now. If you made it this far, congratulations, but this is a very boring conversation, and I understand that it's not for most people, but this is what I'm interested in. This is what I like. Anyway, legally, societal norms should be considered. But they're not. It's only what the people at the top want for us. And that makes you wonder, right? Because a lot of them preach the opposite things to us. So you had Beyonce singing about all the single ladies, but she's not single. Okay. You have the president preaching God, morals, monogamy, but he's not monogamous. Okay. So, okay. You can't look to your elitist overlords. You can't look to the legal justice system. If you want to look at nature, nature's very brutal, and hypergamy, you can argue, which is nature, that would keep you dissatisfied. That's not optimal for our existence either, right? I mean, in other contexts of human civilization, the only men who truly had the most amount of women were like kings and sultans and emperors and high elitist class of men, nobility, right? So if you guys would want that back, I mean, even then, like, there's no really fair way to, I guess, make that happen. And I think a lot of people would be very much upset. Um, even like other high tier men, you know. So there needs to be a satiating aspect for the masses. If you can satisfy the majority, that's all that truly matters now, doesn't it? Um, right now we're in a very peculiar situation. So I think this is why people a lot of times will end up having to balance the nature with the legislations and with the you know, social norms. But in all honesty, I think this is why a lot of people actually turn to religion in the first place. It gives them a platform or a ground to sort of stand on, you know. I know my hat sort of matches my shirt, and I did that on purpose. I just actually got this fucking hat and I wanted to wear it. Okay. It's a sunny day. and it fucking looks good on me. Okay. Anyway, um, religion is one of those topics, and I don't think people are ready to even hear about it because it's considered taboo when it shouldn't be. It's just your faith and your belief system. But my argument is, I don't even have an argument. There's a fucking bird just sitting right behind me. It's not an argument. I'd say more of a point that a lot of people turn to religion for some grounding, for some base. Birds. Anyway, the thing is, religion. I don't know. You either love it or you don't. As an average normie walking around eating their Burger King, you know, going to their local gym to walk on a treadmill for 45 minutes. The average normie either they love religion, which is in my opinion a good thing, or they hate it. So it's considered a taboo subject. You're not supposed to talk about it in the workplace or around your friends or whatever. Same with politics and whatever, which is in my opinion fucking bullshit. I think you should talk about anything you want, really, as long as consent and respect. Obviously, don't walk up into someone's fucking face, start yelling at them. That's kind of aggressive. Um, but anyway, I think you should be able to talk about these things. I can already see haters commenting. I don't know why. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about, dude. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I appreciate it though. I can't tell sometimes if they're just hating to hate or just it's out of sincere care, but I'd say most of the time it's just I've seen guys comment hate comments under YouTube videos that were uploaded like in 5 seconds, and it's like, dude, you didn't even watch the video. You just started hating all of a sudden. I don't know. I guess I mean you just have to deal with it, I guess. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. All these thoughts, these are just thoughts and ideas. Some of them, I believe them. Some of them I'm just contemplating about. And this is a discussion, so you guys can also comment. Feel free to talk about anything I said and bounce back on that. But I want to know. I want to know what you guys have to say about social media, like the legal system, nature, and how life is meant to be. I want to know. And if you guys want to see more videos, then let me know. Anyways, I think I've been here outside long enough. I'm going to go back in. But it was nice talking to you guys through the mic and camera. I'll see you guys next time, next episode or video or whatever the crap. Fucking later.